whichever one you choose. So he made contacts, and he called my teacher, my foreign teacher, Maulana Beg. He has a house in Florida, Sanford, Florida. So he got in contact with Maulana Beg, and he talked to him. And he's like, yes, I had this guy, good brother. He's a convert from Christian to Muslim. He's looking to have a place to study. What can you do? So Maulana Beg, let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. So when I talked to him on the phone, he was like, if you can come by September 6th, you're in. I was like, wow, is that easy? I was like, I can just come? He's like, yeah. So of course, when I got there, I did the paperwork, but nothing was done. Just like, if you want to come, come. If you're here at this time, you're accepted. We have an open bed for you. So I was very excited. So that was the transition from Dearborn to Florida. So when I moved from Florida to Dearborn, then I moved to Florida to enter the Hausa in Sanford, Florida. My mother, I remember one of the first things she said that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So in other words, at the same time, she's like, it's good you have a stand, but make sure you take a stand with this. Don't be wish-washy. Don't be with it one day and the next day, I'm on something else. In other words, encourage me that if you're going to do something, do it all the way and do it wholeheartedly. But there was hesitation. Of course, as a mother, her son embraced a religion that's other than her religion. Every parent wants their sons and daughters to be on the same religion as they are, to give them that reassurance that they're on guidance. As for my mother, the initial response wasn't good. There was hesitation, there was hurt. But after a while, she's seen the change that compared to how I was when I was non-Muslim to how I am as a Muslim, she's seen a big change, whether it was from akhlaq, my conduct, whether it was how I treated people, how I treated her, how my attitude in general was with life. Islam gives you a broader outlook on life. Everything has meaning, everything has a purpose, and that we understand that there's a life in the hereafter and we have to work for it. And we have to try to do as many good works as we can and try to please God always and be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But with my dad, it was a different story. Of course, my dad being of the Salafi madhab, Salafis have a very intolerable mindset towards anybody other than their beliefs, even amongst other different Sunnis. There's a lot of criticism from the Salafi community or the Wahhabi community. So my dad, of course, I remember I was in Dearborn, and me and a friend were in a coffee shop, and we were sitting having coffee discussing. And I remember he called me and he said, your mother told me something about you becoming Shia. Is this true? And of course I was trying to be, as polite as possible because we had to respect our parents. And I was like, yes, this is true. And he simply says, Shia are kafir. He said, Shia are fil jahannam. He said that Shia will go to hell. Shia will not see paradise. He said that the Shia madhab commit shirk, associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I was trying to be as calm as possible, as polite, but I was like, no, Dad, this is not what we believe. We believe in strictly tawheed, the oneness of Allah. And I'm sorry that you have these misconceptions, but these are not true. And we sat there and talked, and I tried to break down as much as possible. But sometimes when you try to talk to a person that ain't trying to hear the other side, you get nowhere in the conversation. So I kind of just shut my mouth, and I was just like, okay, Dad, I had to go for now. Inshallah, we'll keep in touch. So it wasn't a strong response. So since then, the relationship has kind of been distant, but of course, it's my obligation as a Muslim to keep contact, to keep ties. It's haram to break ties with your family. So I always had to keep that. And it was very difficult at times to humble myself because there was one part of me that wanted to say, forget him. Oh no, billah. But the other part is like, no, I'm a Muslim. I'm different now. I can't have that same attitude, like forget everybody if they're against me or they have differences. I had to change that mentality within me. So I was like, no, you be the better person, keep contact with him, call him, and do what you can. And at least you know that you're pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Florida, they have a program under Maulana Beg. He has a specific program that's laid out for not just converts, but for anybody that doesn't have the strong basics of Arabiya or Aqaid, just getting a stronger foundation in the core subjects of Hausa. So it's a 2-year program that specializes in teaching Nahu, Sarf, which is Arabic grammar. to help get better at reading Arabic books, because once you come to Najaf or Qom, the books are either in Arabic, or in Qom there's Arabic and Farsi. So you have to get that tool itself to open up other doors to get the knowledge. That was when, then of course fiqh, usul fiqh, mantiq, and all these other different subjects that we study, like mantiq logic, to study the different aspects of logical thinking that protects one from making a mental mistake, like Arabiya, Sarf and Nahu. It protects one from making a mistake of the tongue. Or when you're reading Arabic, it protects you from making mistakes in your reading as well. So these are the different subjects we studied. And I stayed there 2 years. But when I talked to Maulana, I asked him, my plan is to go to Najaf or Qom, either one. I said, will I be able to go after this? I don't want to just study 2 years, go back to the States and go back to the same thing I was doing. I said, if I do it, I want to go all the way. I want to study years and years and years. He said, that's the whole plan. He said, when you complete the 2 years, we'll either send you to Najaf or Qom, it's your choice. So I said, okay, bet, I'm coming. That's the initial plan. So after the 2 years, I graduated from the seminary. Of course, I bought my ticket, and I just remember I wasn't so much focused on the Hawza initially. The main thing I was longing for was ziyarah to Imam Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. That was the main thing that I was focused on. Hawza was secondary. That took the second spot for the time being, because of course the Shia, and we love Ahlul Bayt, and we want to visit their shrines. There's a hadith narrated by Rasulullah. He said, Inna la kulli shay'in asasun. Asasu Islam, hubbana Ahlul Bayt. He said that for everything there's a foundation. And the foundation of Islam is love for Ahlul Bayt, love for the family of Rasulullah. So then I got my ticket, and there's a saying in Najaf. They say that if you come to Najaf for Hawza, for knowledge, you'll get nothing. But they say if you come for Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, then you'll have everything. So when I got here, I was like, well, that's the mindset I had. So inshallah, everything will fall into place. So I came to Najaf. I've been in Najaf al-Ashraf for 3 months now. And the experience has been the most beautiful experience I've ever experienced in my life. It has been spiritually uplifting, mind-opening, eye-opening. And it really helped me see a different part of the world, because this is, of course, the first time I've ever been to the Middle East. So that was an excitement as well, to see the different lifestyle, the different culture, all these different aspects. And then, of course, you know, the Hawza itself is a beautiful aspect of Najaf al-Ashraf as well. That is the Hawza in Imam Ali, or the foundation of the Hawza in Najaf al-Ashraf. As a Shia, of course, the love of the A'imma, the Imams, is a very strong love as a Shia. There's a hadith where Rasulullah said, what is Islam except love? So Islam is based, love is based in Islam. This is the foundation of Islam. And one of the aspects of coming to Shiism was one Imam that I connected with always the most, that helped me with the transition to Islam, with the permission of Allah, was Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam. Because even when you read history and you hear about all the different aspects of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali, whether it was in battle, his bravery, how almost all the battles that he defended Rasulullah, that he defended Islam, that he helped save the Ummah from the opposing enemy, whether it had been in the battle of Badr, whether it had been in the battle of Uhud, with all the different, all the main people on the opposing side who were the best fighters, Imam Ali alayhi salam, destroyed them. He wiped them out. That Rasulullah said that La fata illa Ali, la sayfun illa dhu fakar. In the battle of Uhud, when Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam was fighting and he was defending Rasulullah, that he was fighting so hard that his sword broke. So Angel Jibreel alayhi salam came down and he gave him dhu fakar, a sword from the heavens. So this is one aspect. But also as well, that this was the main dispute between Shia and Sunni. Imam Ali alayhi salam, this is the dividing line. That Imam Ali was the one that they say, no, he was just a Sahaba, just a normal, ordinary person. No, the Shia say, no, he was a divine Imam who was divinely sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So reading the different hadith about Imam Ali, Rasulullah said in one hadith, Zayyinu mujalisakum bi dhikra Ali. They said they beautify the gatherings with the remembrance of Ali. Or when Rasulullah would go into a gathering, he said that whenever there was other people, but Imam Ali was present, all my attention would be on Imam Ali, despite other people. Normally, he said that I would give attention to everyone. I would make eye contact with everybody to give him that respect. But when Imam Ali was present in the gathering, his attention was just on Imam Ali. So this aspect, it opened my eyes, and ever since then there was always that intense and close connection with Amir al-Mu'mineen, because reading about him, you know, it just impresses you, the different characteristics, his character, his worship, everything about Amir al-Mu'mineen. It impressed an individual to say that this had to be somebody sent by Allah. This can't be no ordinary individual who's just a normal companion, but it had to have been somebody who was sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My aim, of course, is to complete at least 10 years in Hawza. I want to be able to get very strong, be very learned, so that when I do go back to whatever community Allah wills for me to go, because of course we plan, but Allah plans also. So, you know, we can have a plan, but Allah may want us somewhere else. But whichever community I go to, or wherever place in this world that Allah wants me to be at, that I want to know and be reassured that I'm firm, that I'm not just somebody who knows a little bit. Of course, any knowledge we have is a little bit, but I want to at least be firm in the little knowledge that I do know, so that when I go back, I can teach other people. And the main thing is that I just hope to be an inspiration for people, that they can see that somebody can come from a rough background, came from as a Christian, he became Muslim, came from Sunni, that came to Shia, that other people can do that as well. Whether you're a Jew, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, that we have to keep an open mind. We have to research, we have to look at for ourselves, and not just accept everything that our community or our family give us, but we have to look into it ourselves. We have to get that yaqeen, that certainty in our own heart. And I just hope that this can be inspiration for other people as well, to help bring them to Islam, to help bring them to the love of Ahlul Bayt, alayhim as-salam. You know, the one aspect of Islam is not so much what we say all the time, but it's our akhlaq, our actions, that Rasulullah, he helped many people come to Islam by his good conduct, by the way he dealt with people, by the way his relationships were, even with his enemies. A quick story to give an idea of this is that when he would walk past a woman's house, she would always abuse him and throw trash on him. So one day when he walked by, there was no trash. The woman was absent. So he was like, where's she at? I must check on her. So he inquired about her, and the person said, she's sick. She's on the bed, and she's close to death. So he said, I have to go visit her. So he went and visited her. When he visited this old woman, she was so shocked, and she just started crying. So we look at that the way he even treated those who treated him bad, the enemies. So this is, you know, I hope, inshallah, that, you know, not just through my words or not what I will say, but people can get inspiration also through the actions. You know, and a lot of times converts who convert to Islam are people who are on the verge of converting to Islam. There's that hesitation of what will my family think, what will my peers think, what will my community think. You really have to put that to the side and do what you know is right. Anything in life that we do, it takes sacrifice. Nothing comes easy. Nothing comes with comfort. Everything comes with hardship when it's worth the sacrifice. When it's something you're working hard for, it's never going to come easy. The same thing, you have a teacher and you have a student. If the teacher sees potential in the student, he's going to test him. He's going to try him hard. He's going to put him to that hardship. It's not easy. The same thing as a convert or somebody who's on the verge of converting to Islam. That they have to just be strong-minded and just focus and know that if I know this is the truth, I have an obligation. This is the truth, I have to embrace it, regardless of what people think. The thing that matters is what Allah thinks, what our Creator thinks. That's the main thing that's going to count. So I hope that, inshallah, that people can be inspired and inshallah, at least take the step to research. If anything, to give that motivation to research about Islam, to see what Islam is. If anything, at the end of the day, it can be that they have more of an understanding of Islam now. They've rid away all the misconceptions of Islam. They dispelled the misconceptions that they've been taught. So, inshallah, I hope to achieve this as well, inshallah. Only by tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.